Hey, everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from gorgeous Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
the nominated podcast.
I'm Frank.
And I'm Dan.
And coming up today, we're going to be talking about the big Mormon revelation this week. They're showing off a peepstone, everyone.
Sounds so dirty when you say it.
Peepstone.
I like to call it a seer stone.
That's what they like to call it, too.
Yeah.
Even though Joseph Smith, didn't he call it a peepstone at one point?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to go with absolutely that's what he called
Because
it.
you got to do your peeping.
You got
to peep.
He was a peeping Joe, is what he was.
This is actually kind of a big revelation.
Well, kind of.
I think it's a crazy thing. I mean, what are they going to show off next? The Sword of Laban? Like, I mean, seriously, like...
We'll get to all of that later in the show. But before that, hey, we went to Texas.
We did go to Texas.
We should briefly mention how that went.
Yeah, we should.
We went, as most of our listeners know, we went because we were finalists for the Academy of Podcasters Award.
Yeah, and we didn't win.
No.
As we predicted.
As
we were right, Dan.
We were correct. Predictions all came true. It was some Christian show beat out all of the atheist / skeptical
I thought
shows.
that was really bullshit. But
Well, I mean, one thing that was clear from their videotaped acceptance speech, I think we were the only people in our category that showed up.
yeah, that's true.
Anyway, the video made it clear that they had a lot of money.
Yeah, there were a lot of people there.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big deal.
Yeah,
this thing.
and I will say this. I think our big triumph was that people really got a good laugh out of our title. That was a big...
I was expecting a little scattered chuckle.
Usually what we get with that, usually my experience is that it's like it's a hand grenade joke. You pull the pin, you lob it at the person, and then they get the blank face, and then
Like the guy on the elevator.
and then you look at them for a minute, and then they go, "Oh, I get it. That's funny."
yeah,
or whatever. But no, people got it right away, and it was we got a good laugh.
Yeah. Or the guy on the elevator, the first person we met,
Who we theorized was a Mormon.
Yeah.
because he was wearing a white T-shirt under his orange T-shirt.
Yeah, it
which
was
is generally a sign that he's wearing temple garments.
kind of a Mormon thing, but he didn't like the whole atheist thing.
No, he was. That was the one thing.
That's a clever name.
Yeah, it was very funny because when we
That's an interesting name.
because like every conversation you have there, the second sentence that someone says is, "So what's your show?"
yeah.
And that's to be understood. It's a convention of podcasting.
Yeah.
So everybody's got a show,
Right.
And when
Or
people,
not yet.
Or
which
not
was
yet, right.
The trippy part about
yeah,
the whole thing.
there were 2 or 3 people that we met who hadn't started their show yet and were there to, I guess, learn how to do it.
Yeah.
Great. They want to start smart, I guess. Anyway, they spent a lot of money to go to that convention to learn about it. Anyway, it is funny because, when people ask you what's your show, like this guy, we were like, "So what's your show?" And he said, "Oh, I do a podcast about WordPress."
Yeah.
Which-
we're like, oh, we use WordPress.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
It's
to me
nerdy.
yeah, in my mind, I'm like, how do I say anything about that without revealing that it sounds like the most boring show on the planet? So I was just like, yeah, we use WordPress, great. And he was like, great, what's your show? And we were like, thank God I'm atheist. And he went, oh, well, that's interesting.
That's an interesting name, I think is what he said. He commented on the title specifically.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
So we tended to get 2 different responses. One of the responses was that, and the other response was, oh, I'm one of you people, which was always a good thing. Always a good thing. So we didn't win this year. We guarantee we will win it next year. We're taking home the gold.
Okay.
Next year.
All right.
As we work, I mean, we've got goals. We're trying to get money to improve the thing and whatever. We're working.
Here's a goal, Dan.
What?
Let's start the show.
Hey,
Do you have a story?
I've got a story. Yeah, you're goddamn right. I've got a story. I'm going to start with a story that I actually promised people in our Google Hangout that I would do, and then forgot to do it last week.
Oh, That's right.
I also promised them that I might forget to do it. So I feel like I've covered both of our promises.
Yeah, okay.
Both of my promises
good.
on this front.
Okay.
A monument has been revealed.
What?
In Michigan, as a matter of fact.
Okay, yeah, okay.
In Detroit.
Okay.
It is the Baphomet statue from the Satanic Temple. And it is finally revealed, and it is it's glorious.
Beautiful.
It's actually stunning. Just as a work of art, it's actually quite beautiful.
Good work done on it.
Yeah.
Quality work.
I'm actually super impressed by it. It's giant, and it's awesome. They had to change some of their plans when they were doing the revelation of this thing. Multiple sources were threatening to destroy it and or, in one case, burn it down.
It's stone, right?
It's metal.
It's metal.
Yeah.
I guess it could melt down.
Yeah, you can't really burn it down, though. I mean...
Burn down the building it's in.
Right, I don't know.
Just to have this Baphomet surrounded by flames.
Right, which yeah, that'd be awesome, actually. They had to change the original venue where they were going to do it. They had a contract with a place.
Okay.
That they rented, and then the owner backed out.
What a jerk!
Said that he didn't know that there was an unveiling of a statue, and he didn't know all this stuff.
I didn't know what a Baphomet was.
Right, I thought it was a bath mat.
Of course you can display your bath mat.
If you want to display a bath mat, that's fine. I don't care.
It's a little strange. Will there be an open bar? Well, cash bar. All right, well, cash bar is okay.
Lucian Greaves, the Satanic Temple co-founder, finds his claim that he didn't know what was going on a little specious, as the contract listed.
Is that the word he used?
No, that was my word.
Okay.
The contract specified that we are. This is his quote. The very contract specified that we are the Satanic Temple. So
the guy had entered basically.
He'd entered a
contract,
right? One of the parties listed
Satanic Temple
was called the Satanic Temple, but he didn't clue in until later. Greaves
seems strangely close to other kinds of contracts.
Lucian Greaves thinks that there was pressure from local Christian groups.
Okay.
Including so one of the quotes on a Facebook post says, "It is every Christian's duty to destroy this. If you see it, destroy this statue. Destroy this statue. Destroy this statue."
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, with that in mind, they had to take some precautions before allowing anyone to be at the ceremony. It seems like that was wise of them to opt out of just allowing anyone to come.
Yeah.
So here's what they did. They made you sign a contract. They said that the meeting was going to be at a specific place. Well, everybody showed up at that specific place, and that's where they had to sign the contract. And once they signed the contract, they got the actual location.
No way.
Here's what the contract said.
Okay.
I kind of love this. I agree that by signing this document under any name, given or adopted, actual or pseudonymous, I am hereby avowing my soul to Satan, a.k.a. Abaddon, a.k.a. Lucifer, a.k.a. Beelzebub, a.k.a. the Antichrist. I do so knowing that he, a.k.a. the Fallen One, a.k.a. the Father of Lies, or any of his representatives may choose to collect my eternal soul at any time, with or without notice. I understand that my signature or mark representing any name, real or made up, upon these papers constitutes a lasting and eternal contract, and that there will be no further negotiations on the matter of my eternal soul.
So a Christian who's wanting to go,
they have to face down that piece of paper.
All right, well played.
I feel
well played.
That is fucking genius. It just plays into this mind. I just believe in these guys so much. I just love them so goddamn much.
They're doing the Lord's work.
They are doing the Lord Lucifer's work.
They're doing the Dark Lord's work.
The Dark Lord's work, and it's working. And it was so yeah, you had to go through a whole lot to get to this event.
Yeah, apparently. Wow. Okay.
Oh, what a great thing. And when they unveiled it, these two sort of shirtless men in tight pants pulled off the sheet and then promptly went and kissed each other in front of it.
That's gratuitous.
Yeah.
That crosses a line of good taste that I'm just not.
As a gay man, you're just not going to go into that.
Purely for spectacle.
Yeah. I feel like that serves their purposes. Spectacle.
And while that was happening, they were just scanning the crowd. Did someone actually sign it? There's the disgusted face.
Did anyone flinch? Oh.
Yeah, get him out of here. Yeah. All right. I like to... this is almost an update. It's a new instance of a story that we covered a while back, dealing with Canada Post and their postal carriers.
Sure.
They're highly... what's the right word for their postal workers? We'll save that judgment for later.
Okay.
So we have another instance of letter carriers in Canada refusing to deliver the mail.
Oh no!
Based on the mail.
They are
based on the contents of the mail.
Get your act together, Canada Post. Jesus Christ. Okay, go on.
So this one is apparently it's a fairly graphic anti-abortion flyer.
Oh.
That is also, let's see, it's an anti-abortion flyer that targets Liberal leader Justin Trudeau.
Oh.
And the postal carriers have somehow they become aware of the contents. Sounds like they're opening other people's mail.
Well, maybe they got one in the mail first.
Maybe they did. I mean, it's possible. Anyway, they're saying that. Well, here's a quote. This is the president of the Canadian Union of Postal Workers in Saskatoon. He says most of the letter carriers that I've heard from, who are from the union office, are horrified. They don't want to be subjected to the public scrutiny by delivering a flyer that obviously is a political flyer made to shock people. And this is a she, actually. Sorry, everyone. Julie Sanderson. A lot of them feel as though Canada Post should not be engaging in this type of delivery. What? It's not the Postal Service's call.
Right.
Unless you are truly breaking some sort of, like, real rule. Right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, if
you're attaching hazardous materials to this flyer or something, you know,
or
the
flyer is, advocating for the murder and overthrow of the government.
Yeah,
that might be a problem.
That might be a thing that they could say no to.
Right. There's cocaine in it. Maybe if there was a little baggie of cocaine attached to it,
why not?
You probably can't do that.
Right. Although they'd probably be more inclined to deliver that.
Well, what's amazing to me is, like, trust me, you deliver far worse shit. It's just in closed envelopes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You deliver horrifying shit.
And also, it's not your job to be the judge of the mail.
And nobody's judging you by what you're delivering.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's
Everybody knows that it's the sender.
Nobody's going, that postal worker's a crazy person. Why are they?
He just gave me.
Look what he delivered to me from my Uncle Bob. Postal worker, what's wrong with you?
This is killing the messenger, right?
Yeah.
No,
literally, this is that's what this is.
The Canadians, if that's your practice, stop.
Right, you're doing it wrong.
It's not him or her.
Your letter carrier, your postal worker, slow though they may be, because Canada Post's a bit of a nightmare.
Is it really?
A little slow. Nevertheless, yeah, it's nothing to do with them, what they bring to you.
No.
Unless they sent it.
Yeah.
But,
and of course, the article does also quote people who say basically what we just said, which is, no, not our place.
Right. You did it wrong.
Yeah.
That's not it.
That's, really? You want to become the arbiters of what, like...
Oh, yeah. You don't want to.
Oh, that catalog is just tacky.
Right, exactly. You know what?
A Harriet Carter. Have you ever had a Harriet Carter delivered to you?
No.
It's like a Sky Mall, but tackier.
Oh.
Right?
I've seen an Archie McPhee. You ever seen an Archie McPhee? No, those are pretty funny. They're deliberately tacky.
Lots of just like cat products, cat scratch posts. That are really
no,
tacky,
it's more it's like deliberately tacky stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's funny.
Okay, this one, Harriet Carter's not deliberately tacky, right? It's just appalling as to like the crap that's in that thing.
Oh,
well, anyway,
you're insulting some listener right now.
Harriet Carter herself.
Yes, she's a long-time listener, zero-time caller.
Well,
Anyway.
Harriet, if you're out there, let us know. I won't diss on your catalog anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go. I'm going to move on to Jerusalem, the Holy Land.
Yes.
Where there's a lot of, you get the religious types a lot
In Jerusalem?
in Jerusalem. It's mostly them. Although there's variants, there are various kinds of Jews, right? So you got the Reformed Jews, you got the ultra-Orthodox Jews, and whatever.
That's not even the end of the religious types.
No.
Not just Jews.
No, but it's meant to be the Jewish state. This is
Jerusalem.
This Israel.
Israel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jerusalem's in Israel.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
But there's tons of Christians and Muslims there.
I know. It's just wackadoo over there. It's just wackadoo. Here's what I'm getting at. They had a gay pride parade, which they've been having for a good while, actually, surprisingly, in Jerusalem.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Considering how much, like, the ultra-Orthodox kind of control the government there and kind of control things.
Yeah.
It's shocking that they would have it. At this gay pride parade, there was a true tragedy. An ultra-Orthodox man went into the crowd and started stabbing people, injuring at least 5, killing 1. So yes, it was horrific.
Do they know that it's actually an Orthodox Jew, or was it a Mexican they hired to go into the crowd to stab?
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, Franklin has just been possessed by Donald Trump.
I'm referencing the article.
I know. You're referencing a story we did a couple weeks ago. No, this was an actual Orthodox Jew. If you tugged his beard, it would stay attached. This is a really stupid thing to have happened, especially considering that the assailant, one Yeshai Schlissel, was arrested just barely got out of prison. 10 years after he was arrested for, wait for it, stabbing people at the gay pride parade.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. That's... He literally just released. First thing he did, well, you might as well go stab some people.
Boy.
Yeah.
That's his mission in life, isn't it?
Yeah. He said to police that he had come to, quote, kill in the name of God.
Wow.
So this time he actually managed to kill someone. I assume that means that it'll be more than 10 years before he gets another shot at this.
Well, just like the repeat offender aspect of it as well. Like
it's crazy.
This guy needs to be locked up.
It's almost as if his rehabilitation didn't work.
Didn't stick.
Somehow it didn't take. And how could that be? Because we all know prison works so well for that sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, other systems might do better than the American system. I mean, I don't want to...
Maybe.
I don't want to, say things about the Israeli system that I don't know. But
yeah.
Who knows?
Benjamin Netanyahu,
crazy.
The Israeli prime minister, said, quote, in Israel, everyone, including the gay community, has the right to live in peace, and we will defend that right. He called it a despicable hate crime. So,
well, all right.
At least he's on the right side of it. Yeah. It's so weird in Israel. I was talking at the podcast convention. I was talking to a podcaster who is She's a science. She does a science show. She describes herself as an atheist Jew.
Okay.
She is of Jewish descent. She's lived multiple times in Israel.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I was talking to her about her experiences in Israel, and she told very conflicting stories. One time, she was apparently, I think she was jogging, and she was wearing like a tank top and shorts, and had an ultra-Orthodox Jew spit on her. So that's good. Wow. That he felt.
They sound like really good neighbors.
Yeah. Well, just live outside of the string, and you're fine, at least on Sabbath or whatever. But then she told another story of an Orthodox Jew who saw her. She was wearing something equally revealing, I guess, and this Orthodox Jew. It was what holy day was it? It was some holiday. The Jews have a lot of them. And he asked her if she had done the thing that you do on that day. I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
And she said no. And then he invited her into his house, being dressed improperly, to do the thing, whatever the thing was that you do on that day. So that's nice, I guess. I guess the takeaway is you don't know who to trust.
Yeah.
Or the takeaway is just cover yourself, ladies. Maybe that's it.
That's horrid, Dan.
Yeah. All right. Move on.
All right. I'm worried about a group of people in this country, Dan.
Is it?
They're put upon. Just put upon.
It's not the postal workers, is it?
No, this is this country.
Oh, okay.
No, it's clergy.
Oh,
yeah. The clergy in this nation, they have it so rough. They're having a rough time. This whole gay marriage thing has happened, and they just don't know what's gonna. They don't know what's gonna happen.
No,
and they're all just terrified that they're going to be forced to perform gay marriage. Right?
It would be the worst.
This is the next thing coming down the line.
It would be the worst thing that ever happened.
Forced
if they had to do that.
marriages.
Oh,
it's just.
I mean, obviously, no one's actually talking about making them do this except them.
Well,
but they're terrified.
The Republican Speaker, House Speaker from Georgia, David Ralston, he wants to make sure that that the right that the clergy already have to refuse to perform gay marriages is actually protected by law.
Oh, good.
Or should I say by an additional law.
Okay.
Right. By a lesser law, actually, because their right to not do this is enshrined in the Constitution.
Right.
But he wants to make sure that there's a state law.
Right. Well,
it also says this, just something that's passed by the House, not even added to the Georgia state constitution.
Sure.
So he says we will reinforce our commitment to the separation of church and state, as well as reaffirm the right of the clergy to carry out their duties as their religious beliefs, not government, prescribes.
Wow, it's almost like he wants it to be as it already is.
Yeah, and the man's already an attorney.
Oh my God,
he knows that it's pointless.
Right.
I mean, this is just for political points, clearly.
Right. Yeah. It's so that he can. It's so that everyone in his congregation, or everyone who whatever he is. What's he going for? Is he a minister, or is he? He's a politician.
He's a politician.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's everyone. All of his constituents can see how hard he's fighting these invisible dragons.
Yeah, absolutely. The gay rights group Georgia Equality said it would not object to the current proposal.
Yeah.
Why? Why waste your breath?
Yeah.
Why do anything? It's already there.
I don't object to it. It's stupid, but I don't object to it. You're fine if you want to. What they should do is they should fully endorse it, and then try to make it theirs, so that it suddenly seems like it's the gay agenda.
Right.
I just like the idea of them embracing this too much, of them saying, "Oh yeah, we've been working with the senator for a long time. We're very pleased that he's finally putting our bill into action and this bill that we love so much and blah blah blah. Just so that
to screw with them.
Yeah, just so that the Christians are all like, wait a minute, why is he doing a gay bill? What? Why is this bill a gay bill? Why does he like the gays so much?
Why is he working with the gay community?
Right. Get them all very confused.
All right. Okay. That's diabolical, Dan.
I'm a diabolical thinker. Dun dun dun. I'm going to take us to I think it's Missouri. Oh, Indiana. Sorry. At Forest Park Elementary School. A very adorable little 7-year-old. I'm going to assume that 7-year-old is adorable. I don't actually know anything about him because he is anonymous. Because there's a lawsuit being filed. Which was obtained by the Washington Post, suing Forest Park Elementary School because here's what happened. Kids are playing on the playground. Apparently some kids asked this little boy, what church do you go to?
Okay.
He said, I don't go to church. I don't believe in God. Great. Fair enough.
Yeah. Smart kid.
Then the little kids all were mean to him and then went and told the teacher.
Okay.
The teacher's response.
They tell on the kid for not believing in God.
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the teacher's response was to ask him. So she took him aside, Ms. Meyer took him aside and asked if he had told this little girl that he didn't believe in God. And he said he said he asked what he had done wrong. She said she asked if he went to church, whether his family went to church, and whether his mother knew how he felt about God. She also asked him if he believed that maybe God exists. When she didn't like his response, she made him sit away from the other children during lunch.
What?
She isolated him completely for 3 days.
What?
Until the mother had to like he came home crying enough that the mom had to call into the school, and they conferenced in the teacher, who was like, "Yeah, I totally did that."
He needed to be ostracized.
Apparently they went to some administrator.
That teacher's a fucking bully.
And the administrator got on board and was like, and talked to the little girl who was all traumatized by this kid not believing in God. Apparently the I don't know if it was a counselor or what, but this administrator patted the little girl on the hands and said, "Don't you just ignore him. Don't you worry about it. Don't let it hurt your feelings." Didn't say anything to the kid. So, yeah. It's horrific. I mean, so this lawsuit basically they just kept reinforcing, and this kid just kept asking what he did wrong, and just all he did was get punished.
Oh my God.
This school district, for what it's worth, has indicated that they think that the teacher was wrong to single out the child.
They have or haven't?
They have indicated that.
Okay.
They say it is clear that it is not the province of a public school to advance or inhibit religious beliefs or practices. Under the First and 14th Amendments of the Constitution, this remains the inviolate province of the individual and the church of his or her choice.
Wow.
The rights of any minority, no matter how small, must be protected, they said.
Well, good. Well done, school district, after you...
after
this colossal fuck up. Where did you say this was?
In Indiana.
Oh.
Yeah. Just horrific. How is it okay to treat a 7-year-old like this? Isolated apparently to keep him from hurting other students' feelings. Because he said things that were offensive.
Clearly.
I believe.
Wow.
Or I don't believe.
Right.
So.
All right. That's a horrible story, Dan.
Yeah.
You just kind of ruined my day.
You're welcome.
All right. I've got one more. So there's a trend in the UK. apparently, Dan.
Okay.
It's becoming quite popular. It's taking over.
Yeah.
And it's come to the attention of the Church of England.
The C of E.
The C of E.
Okay.
And they're outraged by this very new trendy thing. And they are denouncing treating bereaved relatives as portable remains.
What?
The headline had me so confused. So apparently there's this growing trend where family members are seeking to exhume bodies to move them back home.
Oh.
When they move.
Oh.
Right? Like if the someone's your I don't know, husband or wife, you're living in this town X, right?
Yeah.
And they pass away.
Yeah.
And well, you have them buried, right?
Sure.
Nearby.
Sure.
That's probably just what you're going to do. You're there for, who knows how long. Whatever.
Right.
It's expensive to ship a body.
Sure.
Years later, you got the money and you're moving back home and you want to bring...
You want Grandma to come along?
Grandma along.
Okay.
And so you're petitioning the government to allow you to issue a license
to dig her back up.
To dig her back up and move her back home. Well, the Church of England is absolutely outraged. Because according to the Burial Act of 1857, remains can only be exhumed on the authority of the Justice Secretary or the Church of England, or from the Church of England if on consecrated ground. So it's okay. Uh-huh. And so you have placed that body in God's care in the ground, waiting for the resurrection. Right?
Okay.
And so by exhuming it, you're taking it from God's care. You're just treating it like it's a body that you need to let go of this person. They're in God's care. You're like, they're no longer yours.
Here's the deal. Here's what's going on. God has basically secretaries in heaven, administrative assistants in heaven that have basically filed where all the bodies are.
Right.
Do you know the paperwork involved in heaven in transferring remains from point A to point B?
That's horrid. Absolutely horrid. I mean, all these things have to be done in triplicate.
Oh my God! It's got to go to like 10 different departments. If you forget one of them, everything is fucked up.
They've been trying to do this like computer switchover for a long time. And it's heaven, right? Like
God likes paper.
Yeah,
God likes the old-fashioned way.
He does.
He's got a card catalog.
Digitizing the whole thing is nearly impossible.
It's going to just take forever.
Yeah, he might be omnipotent and omniscient, but he doesn't want to deal with this one.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not his job. That's somebody else's job in heaven.
These bodies have already been entrusted to him.
Yeah, exactly. What's he going to do? Just be okay with you moving it?
Yeah.
I want to point something out. I just Googled the Burial Act and was reading a little bit about it as you were talking. Apparently, the act made it illegal. This is from Wikipedia. The act made it illegal to disturb a grave other than for an officially sanctioned exhumation. The act did not make it illegal to steal a dead body. And it is only the opening of the grave which constitutes an offense, not the removal of the contents.
Really?
I just love that line. I had to read it to you because it has nothing to do with the article, but that's
no, but
funny.
It's interesting that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway,
isn't that amazing?
But it also provides for exhumation.
Yeah. But like,
that's crazy. That's so funny.
It is interesting. I will say this. It is kind of crazy, I think, personally, to be that connected to that person's burial place. The person has moved on. Yeah. You have them in your memory. Going to this physical place or having the body near you, there is something really weird about that.
Maybe. I mean, I think people...
To me.
Here's the thing. I know that a lot of people really like to visit a specific place, and that's sort of how they... It can be nice to associate a physical place with the memory of a person.
Right.
It's a place where you can go, you can sort of touch a thing.
Right.
And that means something.
Right.
If the actual body isn't there, I wonder if psychologically it means less. It's harder to psychologically transfer those feelings to a space where that physical body doesn't exist.
Now, you're right. Clearly, I mean, this is the whole point with like the, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Right.
Right. You don't have the remains of your loved one who went off to war didn't come home. And so having that one marker gives you that place. Right? Is that the psychology?
I think that's part of it. I think that's part of it. But I would imagine that it would be nicer for those people to know where that actual body was.
Sure, but it gives them some relief to just know that there is an unidentified soldier, and it could possibly maybe be their brother or son.
Right? Yeah, I guess so. I just feel sure.
There's something they're able to attach to it.
Right.
Because there is a body in there. There is someone. And that's interesting. I don't know. You have, I don't know how you feel about me bringing this up, but you have the remains of your father downstairs.
Yes. Dad's downstairs. Some of him has actually been scattered at an undisclosed location.
I mean, what do you think of having your father's remains in the house? Like, do you have some feeling about that?
Not particularly. To be perfectly honest, I'm not someone who thinks in symbols. Right. I'm not someone who thinks in I don't think of that as my dad. That is a bunch of ashes.
Right.
It's interesting to have a thing that I can sort of look at, and when I look at it, if I'm thinking about him, I'll look at that and just sort of ponder him.
Yeah.
And the loss of him.
It's a focal point.
Yeah. But I could just as easily look at a picture of him.
Right.
It's a weird thing. It means something, I guess. Huh. There's some meaning to it. Huh. I would feel weird if someone stole it.
Well, that would be a weird thing to do.
It would be a weird. It's a lovely. I've got him in a beautiful box.
Yeah.
A very nice box. But
one that's very fitting as well.
Yeah. We had it made for him.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Frankly, I feel like my experience is mine, and everybody has their own experience. And if it means something to you to move grandma back to wherever you're from or whatever, I'm not that worried about it. However, I do know that there are lots of times when, there's going to be some familial arguing about where grandma's supposed to go or whatever.
Yeah.
So frankly, I wouldn't do it just because you're just tempting the rest of the family to throw a fit, and then you've just got a fight on your hands.
That's a terror.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
No, indeed.
Well, if you guys have anything you want to say about any of these lovely issues, there are ways of getting in touch with us. There are ways of you forwarding this information unto us.
This is true.
You can write to us, and that would be podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you can leave us a voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Sure, do that. Go to the Facebook page, will you? It's facebook.com/TGIAtheist and press that like button.
Yeah, or also on Facebook, you can search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge. And then once you do that, you can request to join, and you'll be let in.
Yeah, here's the deal, though. I'll tell you this. You need to do both of those two Facebook things because it makes it so much easier for me. Because here's the thing. I have to Facebook stalk you in order to let you into the Members Only Lounge.
Right.
I got a backlog. I got to work through it today. But if I'm going through your likes and I see Thank God I'm Atheist in your likes, you're automatically in.
Well, all right.
Makes it super easy for me.
Good to know.
So do that.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. This is Pat Robertson.
Patty boy.
He's got some advice on how you can be straight, how you can make yourself straight.
Good.
This is Ian who says, I am really in deep confusion and I really need answers. Can God take away this same-sex attraction? Can God change a homosexual to straight?
We have had people on this program. Yeah. There was one guy, I'll never forget him, because he came, we show him as a woman, and as a woman, he was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. but he was a man. And the Lord touched him, changed him, and now he is married and has some children and has a very happy life. Yes, God can. It's a miracle, but God can do it. It is a tendency in your life. Somebody was asking me for counsel the other day and said, I've got this son, and he was effeminate from the time he was young, and now he says he's gay. And I said to her, I said, does he want to be a girl? And she said, no. Well, I said, well, if he doesn't want to be a girl, basically he wants to be a man. Mm-hmm. And if he wants to be a man, there's no reason that he can't start acting like one. Mm-hmm. God can take care of this. And I know it used to be considered psychologically that this was an aberration and so forth, but now, as a matter of fact, if somebody counsels this in school, I mean, they come against you. You're violating somebody's civil rights. But the truth is, you ask me a question. The question is, can God do it? The answer is, not only he can, he will.
Frank, do you want to be a girl?
No.
Then act like a man, you queer.
Dan, I think I act like a man.
Yes, I think that's part of the confusion here.
I think I wouldn't. I don't know if the word manly applies.
You're man-esque.
Mannish?
Sure, manful. Can I call you manful?
Manful. If I was a woman, they'd say I'm a handsome woman.
They would say you're a mannish woman.
A mannish woman.
So you're mannish. You're manly. Look at that beard on you. You're manly.
Manly. But the problem is, I'm still gay. I've been acting straight this whole time.
And yet, you're
been acting like a man. I've been acting straight.
Wait,
that sounds wrong. That came out totally wrong. I have not been acting straight.
No, you've been acting like a man.
But I act like a man.
And yet, you still like other men?
It's really strange.
It's almost as if Pat Robertson doesn't know what gay is.
Yeah, but he sure knows a pretty lady when he sees one.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm feeling confused right now.
Oh my God. I would hit that so hard if it had a vagina.
Does that even matter that much? It's gorgeous.
Hey, gorgeous, turn around for me. All right. We had many people writing and calling into us this week.
Indeed, yeah.
I'll start with Nate.
Okay.
Nate says, hey, Frank and Dan, it's Nate, the closet atheist again. I'm writing for some advice on coming out to my family as an atheist.
Okay.
Oops. I just clicked him away. Coming out to my family as an atheist. I'll be moving from St. George, Utah to USU in Logan.
Okay.
Near the end of the month.
Okay.
That's the Utah State University. And I'll be
from one end of the state to the other.
Yes, from the far south to the far north.
Yep.
And I'll finally be in an independent situation. I was hoping you guys could give me some tips on expressing my beliefs or lack thereof without ruining my already strained relationship with my parents. But on the other hand, I also need them to know that I'm serious. I actually told my mom I don't believe in Mormonism about 2 years ago, and she insisted I couldn't possibly have made that decision, and I eventually gave in and pretended to be reconverted just to keep the peace.
Oh.
But now they're expecting me to serve a mission, so I need to tell them before the end of the semester. I remember from your interview with Dan's psychotherapist friend that intent is the most important thing, and my intent, as he said, is to be known. Any advice or support you guys could give would be greatly appreciated. Love the podcast. Keep up the great work.
All right.
Well, it's tricky. It's a tricky space, Nate.
Yeah.
And I think you need to remember, as we often say, that this is not an immediate conversation, but a years-long conversation that you're starting.
Yeah,
you're not ending this conversation.
There's no one trick here to make this go well.
You're beginning this conversation, and they're not going to. It sounds to me like we can pretty much count on them not handling it tremendously well.
Right. Yeah.
But here's the thing. Start to think about. Here's my first piece of advice, and also remember, Frank and I are not psychotherapists. We are just guys. So take everything we say with a grain of salt.
Right.
That said, I would say think about how this does actually affect them and what it is that you're going to be affecting. They're going to be scared for you. Mm-hmm. They're going to be scared about what this means about them as parents, and how it reflects on them in their community.
Yeah, that was a big one for my parents.
So there's going to be a lot of those things. So just realize that those are sort of their issues, even though they're going to say that their big issue is, no, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's not really what's scary for them.
Yeah.
There are a lot of underlying things. And if you can sort of have those in your mind and in your heart as you have this conversation and understand, look, you're the strong one here. You're the one that has gone through some shit. They haven't gone through this yet.
You're the one who's ready for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to be the strong one, and you're going to have to be the one who, if it doesn't work perfectly, because you're going to be nervous and you're going to be scared too.
Yeah.
So it very well may not work well.
Yeah.
The first few times. Just know that you've got years. You've got time.
Yeah. But good on you for not going on a mission.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Just because the family wants it.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. It's not gonna. That won't work well for you.
I lucked out.
Well, yeah,
I got to go eat good food and learn a really beautiful foreign language and live in a beautiful country for 2 years.
But you still had to I
had to deal with some shit, but at the same time, I was one of the lucky ones.
Yeah,
I didn't go to
Alabama.
Yeah.
Yikes. Nothing wrong with Alabama in general. Just not a great place to go on a mission. We met some lovely people in Alabama, my friend.
We did. That is true. There are a few nice people in Alabama. I think we met them all.
we met the majority, the vast majority of good Alabamans we did meet. But yeah, just Nate, just remember that first of all, we support you. We're here for you.
Yeah. And let us know how it goes.
Let us know how it goes. But just know that you're putting them through something hard, and you can be sensitive to that.
Yeah.
But also, you have every right to your beliefs, and they have to be sensitive to that. You don't. They don't get a say in what you believe.
Yeah.
No matter how much they think they do.
Yeah. I'm gonna play an email or a voicemail.
Okay, do it.
This is from Thane. And he's going to get to something in here. Nate, was it?
Nate, yes.
Yeah, Nate. This is the kind of bullshit you have to deal with on a mission, okay?
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, and also, Thane uses a word in here, P-Day, that's going to need some explanation.
Oh, sure.
That's the missionary's personal day, or it's not really a day off. It's your time to do, your laundry.
One day a week, a Mormon missionary gets a day to do their own thing.
Right. And it's not even the full day. And, yeah.
Hello, Franklin and Daniel, longtime listener and supporter, Thane here. I just got through listening to the last episode, wanted to get to 2 quick points. First, call you out just a little bit. You chided the snake handlers a little bit for taking one verse out of the Bible and then kind of making a whole church out of it. I think we as Mormons might know a little bit about that. The baptism for the dead doctrine from one verse out of the Bible. And the other sheep I have, not of this full doctrine, also one verse in the Bible. So I think we're probably a little guilty of that ourselves. Anyway, and the second point was you talked a little bit about the face cards from Mormon doctrine. Just a story from my mission in Norway, 1991 to 1993. We were playing poker on P-days and some non-P-day evenings, and mission president caught wind of it, had us all take the train into his office where he yelled at us for about an hour about the face cards being of the devil. Specifically, apparently, the face cards, the king, queen, and jack, are all wearing the robes of the devil's priesthood, according to my mission president, who later became a 70 and who was obviously a huge fan of Bruce McConkie. Anyway, still love your show, guys. After all these years, keep it up. Keep going strong. Bye.
Thanks, Thane.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, boy. Yeah, don't play that poker. It's the devil's game.
If it was just with maybe some different cards.
Play it with old maid cards.
Yeah, there
You'll
you
be
go.
totally fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got 4 go fishes.
The vestments of the devil's priesthood.
Right.
They're not on those.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Unless you're playing with the special Satanic edition.
The Satanic Temple version of Old Maid or Go Fish. Anyway, that's funny. Thanks for calling in, Thane.
Yeah.
Christian wrote in, "Hi, Frank and Dan. On the topic of, quote, no atheists in foxholes argument, which a lot of people like to throw around, I think the best example that we as atheists can point to is the incredible true story of Joe Simpson's horrific climbing accident in 1985, depicted in the docudrama Touching the Void. After breaking his legs in the Andes, falling into a dark ice crevice with no way to climb out, and deciding to go deeper into the darkness to find a way out.
Yeah.
There was a very powerful moment in the film when Simpson says he was raised Catholic and he always wondered if he would turn to God when the shit really hit the fan. In his words, it never even occurred to him. He believed that when you die, that's it. And if he wanted to survive, he had to rely on himself, not give up and hope some non-existent God would make it better.
Yeah.
Listeners should definitely check out the film if they haven't
Great
already.
film.
Thanks,
Have you
Christian.
seen it, Dan?
I haven't.
Oh, it's awesome. It's really, first of all, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very well done.
Oh, good.
And yeah, it's
Sounds harrowing.
it is.
Positively harrowing.
That's the perfect word to describe his experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And amazing. Like a total survivor. So
There you go.
all right. Do we want to do another
Do another voicemail.
another voicemail?
Sure.
Okay. Let me see. I have like a new little systemy thing here. All right. Okay. This is Jessica. She's calling in to respond to a call last week from Kelsey, who's a social worker.
Oh, right.
And she's doing work in hospice, right?
Right.
And she had sort of the question of what to do with like religious-y people and how to just handle these really sticky situations that she finds herself in. So
Right.
This is Jessica's response.
Hello, this is Jessica. I'm calling about the hospice worker who called in for the last episode. So I'm a music therapist. There's 2 things that I do if somebody is bringing in woo. I worked in end-of-life care and schools and daycares and all kinds of places, adult daycares. And people bring woo into all kinds of medical situations. So one thing that I do is my profession has a scope of practice that's a specific list of responsibilities, skills, abilities, things that I can do in a professional capacity. And if there's something that's not on this document, I can't do it legally or ethically. So, for example, I could play a hymn with the patient to support them, to distract them from pain, or to help them cope with hospitalization, but I can't pray with them or preach to them. So one thing I might do is just bring up my scope of practice and say, I'm not trained to do that, so legally I can't, but let me call the chaplain or let me call somebody else who can help you out with this. The other thing I do is try to get at the root of the emotional motivation for bringing in woo, especially if it's like the family is bringing in something they want to do as a treatment, and try to just validate and speak to that motivation. So I might say, wow, I can really tell that you care so much about your family and you really just want to help them any way you can think of. And I can see how much you care about them. And sometimes kind of putting the focus on that relationship between the family and the person they might lose meets the need that the family is trying to bring this woo into the situation to meet that need. And so if you help them meet that need, then they may be able to let go of the woo. Or it may help them trust you so that if you tell them it's not a good idea to use some kind of cleaning foot pads that you saw on the made-for-TV whatever, they may be able to let that go after they've had their emotions validated. So, all right. Keep up the good work. It was great to meet you in Fort Worth. Take care. Bye.
Well, it's good to meet you too.
Yeah, Jessica was part of our Fort Worth meetup when we went out to Texas. That was a fun time. You had maybe too much fun.
Me or Jessica?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent the next day in bed.
Franklin was not entirely without hangover the next day.
I was in some pain.
Yeah. Good advice, Jessica. I actually really like all of that advice.
Yeah.
That really well done.
I can't imagine Kelsey won't find that helpful.
No. There you go. Tim wrote into us. Tim said, your memories of scouting in LDS troops really resonated with me. You'll recall, Franklin, that when we were talking about Mormon scout troops, we talked about them as the most rag and tag of troops.
They are.
They are the worst. He says, I was a closeted atheist assistant scoutmaster in my son's non-LDS troop. A couple of times a year, I would run a skills station at the camporees where all the troops from our district would compete for ribbons. The patrols from LDS troops were consistently the worst performing, worst behaving patrols of the weekend. I remember one particular patrol that looked like it had walked off the film set of Lord of the Flies. One or two complete uniforms between them, neckerchiefs used as headbands, grimy faces and they all had spears shaped in the campfire.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Occasionally there would be a scout like Frank that really wanted to enjoy it and do well, but they were fighting a losing battle.
Yeah.
The LDS troops in general are held in rather low regard for their merit badge mills, spoon-fed 14-year-old Eagle Scouts, and really lame service projects. There are the idiots that toppled the balanced rock and chipped out dinosaur tracks. I was reading on exmormon.org that a large majority of the fatalities suffered by scouts occur in LDS troops. Given the level of skill and leadership I've observed, I can easily believe it.
Oh my God. That's true. That resonates with me.
Yeah, I always got a kick out of our ragtagness. I thought it was a badge of honor.
No.
Apparently not.
It's not, Dan.
So we have one more voicemail, don't we?
We do, yeah. This is a former Mormon ward clerk calling in. He didn't leave his name.
Here's the thing. We made fun of ward clerks because we were talking about these women in Mormonism who are these enforcers.
Yeah.
These terrifying goodly women who make sure that everybody else acts right.
Right.
And we had mentioned that they marry sort of milquetoast boring guys who have no will of their own, who end up being the ward clerk, which is the guy that sort of
just least glamorous.
Right.
You're like, all you're doing, you basically count the tithing as it comes in. I'm sure you compile like all the attendance records.
Yeah, you do the accounting.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Anyway,
so here's a call from someone who used to be one.
All right, so I'm listening to the episode titled BSA, and you get to the point where you start talking about the cadre of enforcers at BYU, and then you mentioned that their men often become the ward clerk, and it was hilarious. But as a former ward clerk, I have to say that some of us are pretty cool. We're not all... I don't know. I just want to hear the stereotypes about the ward clerks because I was the ward clerk for 7 years before I left to become an atheist. So I'm not sure exactly what stereotype I was fulfilling, but yeah, they did kind of shove me off in a room and forget about me. So it was pretty funny. Thanks. That was all I wanted to say. Bye.
Oh, I love it. That is awesome.
Oh,
Thank you.
You should have embezzled. You should have embezzled. Oh man,
so awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know what else we need to really say.
My dad was a ward clerk. My dad was a stake clerk.
Oh, really?
For a while.
Ah.
I mean, it's to do. It's sometimes to do with introversion, I think.
Probably a little bit of that. I know they often being older guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
sure.
Like I remember, like older single men would often wind up as the old
if you're not
clerk.
Gregarious enough to be like thought of in like teaching sort of capacities,
right?
Eventually, you're you're going to get clerked. You got clerked. You done got clerked, son.
I think more than anything, we just had a really good run going with talking about these women at BYU. And
Yeah, well.
so,
But that's the thing about Mormonism, you guys. You don't get to pick what your job is.
no,
They just
call you.
At some point, somebody gives you a call. The bishop just calls you up and says, "Hey, the Lord has inspired me that you should probably do our books. That you should probably balance our checkbook.
You might be good with numbers.
What
do you think, brother?
What do you think?" And it's very rare that anyone turns anything down.
Yeah,
It does happen.
Yeah, from time to time. All right.
We got some
what's
people
next?
to thank,
Yeah.
and then we'll move on. Thank you so much to Shelley and to Mark, who both gave us a one-time donation and helped make our Texas dreams come true.
They were good dreams too.
We had a great time.
Yeah,
We had a good time.
I liked Fort Worth.
Fort Worth is kind of adorable.
Yeah,
It
I was
seems
surprised.
their little downtown area is shockingly small to me. It feels like it should be, because Fort Worth I think of as a big sort of sister city to Dallas.
No, it's the cute little one over there. That's why you always hear about Dallas, but you rarely hear about Fort Worth.
I'll tell you what, if they did an evening time soap opera called Fort Worth, I'd watch that before.
Far more interesting.
I'd watch that before Dallas any day. Any day.
All right. Well, we
Anyway,
should get moving on.
Yes. So something happened. The LDS Church revealed a thing.
It's pretty amazing, actually.
Here's what happened. They revealed a manuscript of the Book of Mormon, one of the original manuscripts of the Book of Mormon. Now, the Book of Mormon has been changed a number of times.
Right.
Like thousands of tiny little changes. I think over 1,000 tiny little changes.
A couple examples, some famous ones, Dan.
One famous, probably the most famous one, is the scripture that talks about how the Lamanites, and here we're referring to the Native Americans, or the people who ended up being the Native Americans,
Right.
were dark, were cursed and marked with darkness. But the Nephites, the other race of people on the American continents, were white and delightsome.
Yes, indeed.
Which eventually was changed to pure and delightsome. Because it had become about race, and suddenly the whole race thing wasn't looking so good.
Right.
So back in the 60s, 70s or something, there's just a...
They get in there, they tweak things every once in a while.
They just tweaked it a
They
little
don't make
bit.
a big deal about it, you know.
Right. But yes, lots and lots of changes. So this manuscript is from a long time. Actually, do you know whose in whose possession this manuscript had been?
That I don't know.
The Community of Christ.
No.
Yes, this one has been owned by the RLDS, the Reorganized Latter-day Saints, which eventually became the Community of Christ. Also,
I wonder
an offshoot believers in Joseph Smith and sort of the basic Mormon tenets.
how much do you think the downtown LDS Church paid for it?
I don't know. They worked together on the publication of this.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now that's interesting.
As a matter of fact, there was a really adorable moment in the press conference where a spokeswoman for the Community of Christ said something along the lines of, "We'd like to thank the LDS Church for their generous acknowledgement of our role in this," or something. It was really it was basically that.
That's amazing.
Thanks for remembering that we were part of this at all.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow.
Really funny.
Huh.
But that's not what everybody was focused on. This old version of the Book of Mormon is not what got a lot of press.
Right.
Would you like to reveal what got a lot of press?
Some photos that were included in the publication
Right.
of the one of the seer stones, right, that Joseph Smith used during his quote unquote translation of the gold plates,
Yeah.
which were where the Book of Mormon came from.
Yeah, it's a goofy looking thing. It's actually a lovely stone.
Sure. As stones go.
It's sort of a black and brown. It looks like it's got a wood pattern to it.
Yes, it seems maybe varnished, perhaps. It has a
Polished.
sheen.
Sure.
It could be from maybe being handled, do you think?
Sure, possibly, or, whatever. It is egg-sized and shaped.
Uh-huh.
And-
More or less, yeah.
And it's a rock. This is the thing. Here's the big reveal here is that it's just a rock.
It's nothing special, right? It's
cool looking.
Yeah.
They even picture it with a little sort of satchel that it was carried in.
Well, see, and here's I look at this and I'm baffled. I'm baffled, and I appreciate that the church is trying to kind of dispel a lot of the old rumors and whatnot, and the things that people would kind of pick out and make fun of, because the seer stones were featured in that very famous South Park episode.
Right.
And so
Dum.
Exactly, right? And so, supposedly Joseph Smith put these in a hat, right? And he would look into the hat, and that's how the translation came to him.
Right.
He wasn't even reading the golden
plates from which the Book of Mormon is said to be translated were not in the room.
Why did he need them in the first place?
Right.
Vicinity?
Yes. It was just
the seer stones only work. It was more nearby.
It was just to prove that it was all legit.
Well, you do that once. You don't have to lug them around. Do you know how much that thing weighed?
He didn't lug them around. They were nowhere to be found in most of this.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Dan?
I mean that what's his name that helped
Oliver Cowdery
that helped translate this didn't even see the plates according to his own thing. I mean, I would posit that he didn't ever see the plates, but he didn't even see the plates until after all of this had gone down.
Right.
So,
and this was Cowdery, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I had it somewhere, but now it's missing. I get all those guys mixed up.
Different scribes, right? Through the process.
Martin Harris was one of them.
Martin Harris, Oliver Cowdery, and didn't even Emma scribe for a minute?
Oh, probably.
Anyway. Who knows?
It's just, so, the pouch is leather. I thought it was fabric. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here's a quote. Unlike what is depicted in one work, scribe Oliver Cowdery stated that he did not see the plates until after the translation was finished. Did you just say that?
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that.
Here's the thing. There are lots of conflicting accounts. It's not... But the big thing is growing up Mormon. You and I.
Yeah.
Growing up Mormon. I remember hearing something about stones and hats, but it all just sounded like anti-Mormon bullshit.
Right. Well,
this was something that someone made up to discredit Mormonism.
Yeah, stones and hats always sounded really weird to me. Because that wasn't in any of the church movies that you ever saw of this whole thing.
There are artworks. There were artworks on Temple Square, I remember distinctly, of Joseph with golden plates next to him, writing stuff down.
Yeah.
I remember that distinctly.
Right.
Now the church is saying, well, we can't be responsible for the work of artists who are just sort of making it up as they go. You put it on your own grounds, you asshole.
You knew better. Yeah.
You had this stone in your possession.
I am waiting for them to reveal his magic wand. That's what I'm waiting for.
Well, we need to find out first where the sorting hat put him, which I'm going to say that he was a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, well, clearly there was no magic wand, but I've always understood that there are some relics that they say that they have, right? Yeah. Don't they say they have the sword of Laban?
I don't know.
And the brass plates, not the golden plates here, the brass plates.
Do they say that?
I think
I've never heard
so.
that.
What about the Urim and Thummim? The Urim and Thummim were in the case where the golden plates were, right? when
guess.
Moroni takes Joe Smith and takes him up the mountain.
Yeah. That all
stuff
sounds
in
right.
there, and I remember there being like the Sword of Laban and all these kind of things that were there.
The Urim and Thummim, for those of you... See, now here's the thing. That's what I thought he used to translate the book.
No, that was the compass thing, right?
No, that's the Liahona.
That's the Liahona. Well, what the fuck is the Urim and Thummim?
This is the problem, people. There's this weird history story. And let me tell you, growing up Mormon, you don't get the history.
No, that's true. Yeah.
What you get is like what we believe, and you get a whole bunch of beliefs. You don't get this history. So right now, as we speak, Mormons are learning about this stone for the first time.
Yeah.
They're seeing it on all of these reliable sources from the Salt Lake Tribune and the Deseret News here in Utah to all the way. My mom sent me a Guardian article from the UK.
Yeah, it's all.
And said that it called the Guardian's veracity as a publication into question for her. Like, why are they covering this?
So, is this the Urim and Thummim?
No. Hang on, I'm looking it up.
I thought the Urim and Thummim was the thing that was the aid, that was the thing that helped, right? In the translation, you're absolutely right.
Now mind you, so there is in the Hebrew Bible, according to Wikipedia, the Urim and Thummim are associated with the Hoshen, which is the high priest's breastplate, divination in general, and claromancy in particular.
Okay.
Most scholars suspect that the phrase refers to specific objects involved in divination. Is there Latter-day Saint movement? Here we go. Okay. Scrolling down. Joseph Smith, founder of the Latter-day Saint movement, said that he used interpreters in order to translate the Book of Mormon from the golden plates. The interpreters he described as a pair of stones fastened to a breastplate joined in a form similar to that of a large pair of spectacles.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Smith later referred to this object as the Urim and Thummim. In 1823, Smith said that the angel Moroni, who had told him about the golden plates, also told him about the Urim and Thummim. 2 stones in silver bows fastened to a breastplate. It's all sounding very... What's the Nick Cage series of movies? National Treasure?
Yeah.
It's all sounding very National Treasure to me.
Okay.
And Smith's mother, Lucy Mack Smith, described the Urim and Thummim as being, quote, like two smooth 3-cornered diamonds. So this little egg rock can't be that.
Cannot be that.
And I don't think that's what it is. But...
well, fuck it, I don't know.
Honestly... it's all very confusing.
It's all this just now we need to see the Urim and Thummim.
Yeah.
I demand.
Right.
I call upon the LDS Church.
They're going to say that those are with the plates, which are missing. The plates were taken back by the Lord.
They were taken back, yeah.
Because they didn't exist. I mean.
But a rock. A little river rock.
Yeah.
That he varnished and made shiny.
Right.
Yeah, that's still around. Anyway, that was a big reveal.
It feels big to us.
And there's going to be clearly some more fallout. I don't know that it's going to be like a watershed moment in like the churches, like, all the people who are on the fence with the church or anything.
Yeah.
But I bet a few people kind of fall off that fence.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are a few people for whom that story is sort of lingered in the back of their minds of like the hat and the rocks. But, until you actually see, oh, fuck, that's just a rock.
Yeah. It changes it a little.
It does change it.
Anyway.
It does make one wonder if somebody at the higher up in the more LDS church that has access to actually touching this rock ever looked left, looked right, and when no one was looking, threw it into a hat and put their face in or whatever,
just to see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we gotta run.
Thank you all for listening. go to the Facebook page, people. Facebook.com/TGIAtheist.
Or on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge.
Right.
Request to join it.
Right. Write to us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or leave us a voicemail. The telephone number is 424-666-8442. We love to hear from you guys.
We sure do. Thanks, Mackenzie, for all of your hard work on the Facebook page.
And thanks to the Red Rock Hot Club for letting us use their music.
It's awesome. And thank you, dearest of listeners, for your continued support. We sure like it.
And for listening.
That too.
Bye.